dad in the dark, electric chair, that fatal spark, burned my brain, an angry guy, that bad boy king, that hateful... Hello and welcome to Producing Success, the Producers Podcast, and this is a Catastrophicon edition. We are talking about the Catastrophicon Rock and Roll Horror Convention happening in Purchase July 15th. Right now we have a very special guest, Ari Lehman, who played Jason in the original Friday the 13th. Hello, Ari.
Right. Ari Lehman rhymes with demon. That's me. Thank you for pronouncing everything correctly. I appreciate that, Dave. And
Excellent.
speaking of pronunciations, how about that Catastrophicon? I love that word. Who came up with that, man? That's, we do events all over the country, all over the world with crazy names of every kind, like Astronomicon, we just did with Twisted. And man, they had us they had us headline their opening night, which was a great honor because it's like all juggalo hip hop bands. And, first Jason plays kind of a punk metal horror theme. It's more of just a fun rock and roll vibe, but that always works. And we went over, man, we tore the roof off of Astronomicon. But Catastrophicon, who came up with that name, man?
I came up with it. It's just you try a bunch of iterations. Here's the thing. I wanted something memorable, and my idea is this. If you learned how to pronounce this word, Catastrophicon, you have to come because there's no other time you're going to use that word.
It. That's great. That's really cool because you're speaking our language then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about speaking the same language. And I want everyone to know, I'm a fan. I don't know if you remember, I met you at a Connecticut Horror Fest last year, actually. This is water from Camp Crystal Lake, signed by Marty. I actually went to Nobi Bosco.
Amazing. You went to the Crystal Lake to the set in Hardwick, New Jersey, which is a Boy Scout camp where you camp Nobi Bosco. Did you go there?
I went there as a kid. Yeah.
Well, I have had the honor of appearing at that wonderful campsite, which is really a great place. I always insist that the camp itself is kind of like a character in Friday the 13th. You know what I'm saying? Because it has a very unique atmosphere. I think everybody should go there. Friday the 13th owes its continued existence to the fans. If we really examine, it almost is prophetic in the way that it involved fan interaction, okay? Because it was when I jumped out of the lake all covered in mud. Now, let's remember to grab poor Adrian, that scene was added after the film had technically been completed. Submitted to Paramount. Paramount said, no, we need something else because you've got a movie here where an old lady dies and a little boy drowns and we can't sell this movie. Okay. So they had to come up with that ending. I went home in the summer of 1979 in August after I had done the drowning sequence perfectly. Because I just pretended that Jaws was eating me. But so they said, wow, that's great. So I went home and I kind of thought, well, I'm a kid that drowns in a movie. This sucks, man. So Paramount Pictures wasn't going to buy the movie. I didn't know all that. I get a call in October. I pick up the phone. It's Sean Cunningham. He says, we need you to come back because they had written this ending. And see, even he didn't know at first what the ending was going to be. They decided the ending would be little Jason rising up, as it is. So I said, man, I'm dead. How can I be in the movie anymore? I'm dead. Because I was a little kid, So he said, no, Ari, you get your revenge, which I love that. I was so happy. Oh boy, I was just fine. Great. Let's do it. Because, again, as a little kid, that was I just liked it. So I don't know if your viewers know this, but the the scene was supposed to be a dream sequence. So
Ah,
when I get there and they hand me the script and it says Alice's dream, oh, I just said, hey, you said I get my revenge. I did that. And Sean Cunningham was like, you could see he was not happy because it's a dream sequence. It was written as a dream sequence. And I said, it's not a dream. I said, he comes back from the dead. The blood of the mom hits the water and then he hears her voice and he goes, he's somehow in comic book form, in science fiction form, or as I thought, in horror movie form, he's reanimated. Okay. Well, Sean, no. Sean didn't agree with that. He didn't like any paranormal thing. But I think, Dave, you'll agree with me that the fans agreed with me. The fans felt that Jason, they forgot the rest of the movie. They didn't care about Alice.
right.
Okay, but no, where's that little muddy kid that came out at the end? They love that.
It was the beginning of everything.
People have to realize that all of these people that played Jason Voorhees and receive all of this wonderful love from all of the fans who love Jason in his mythological form. A lot of them were very, very different kind of people. So some of these other gentlemen are actors who can act or stuntmen who can do amazing stunts. And, me, I can get up in front of, 100 to a couple thousand people I've never seen before and rock them out all night long. So that's,
Tell us more about First Jason.
Well, what it was, Dave, I had already been a musician. I went to New York University. I had a great opportunity to study with some of the greatest jazz piano players, and I studied jazz piano, and I would practice maybe 5 hours a day at New York University, and I had some great teachers, including Vladimir Shafranov and Joanne Burkeen and Jim McNeely, and some of just the greatest. I mean, I got to do master class with Art Blakey. I got to do, it was incredible because we were in New York City and jazz was still alive. I was able to go downstairs from my dorm, Weinstein dormitory, and I would go downstairs to Bradley's or any one of those university places they had, and then over to Village Gate. And I would literally sit there and just absorb this jazz, I remember the waiters would always ask me, are you going to finish that beer? Like I would order one beer, just stare at the piano player. But I got to see Hank Jones there, Tommy Flanagan, like sitting next to them. Some of the greatest, most, it was an amazing experience. So I had kind of thought I was going to become a jazz musician, man, because jazz, I was so into jazz, and at that time, all this stuff was happening. But then all of a sudden, there became this thing like smooth jazz and like Kenny G, And for some reason, people just associated me with Kenny G. They're like, yeah, you're a white guy. You got long hair. Kenny G.
Wow.
I was like, no, I play jazz, like Coltrane, man, Miles Davis, crazy jazz. And they were like, Kenny G. So I wanted to look outside the jazz world. And what happened was I was approached by a group of people who worked in world music, specifically from West Africa. So Majek Fashek, I was in his band. He's a very, very famous artist from Nigeria. So then I ended up touring with that band for almost 10 years, being the only American member of an African band. So I started absorbing that music. I started learning about African music, okay? I went to Africa. I performed in Africa at the first ever full-on reggae Sunsplash festival in Africa. So then I came back to America and, okay, a bunch of stuff happened, including 9/11. And 9/11 kind of put the kibosh on world music in a big way. Huh. because, we were flying people in from all over the world, and all the clubs that we were playing in were in the Village. And it was like, all of a sudden, what is going on? I started looking at different things. Now, at that time, I also received a letter from a fan. It said, "Did you sign this photo?" And it was a picture of little Jason in the lake. I said, "No, I didn't sign the photo." The guy said, "I paid $50 for this on eBay."
Oh shit.
So what happened was someone had been forging my photo because I wasn't out there signing it, which was, I didn't even know that was a thing. And so then after that, we got him to return the money and this and that. And I started putting it out there. And Tony Timpone from Fangoria magazine invited me to Fangoria ChillerCon. And that was at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Okay. Thousands of people there. And it was a great experience. I met Betsy Palmer. I met Kane Hodder. I got to see Tom Savini again. And it dawned on me that, wow, there's a big market here. So I started looking at that. And the idea for First Jason was born in the sense that I felt, man, I'm going to try to put together a band that speaks to this community in the dark message and also in the heavy, loud music, but in a way that's informed by my own experience of playing jazz and playing African music and playing reggae. So our first album, I really benefited from having a drummer called Cleaver, and he had been playing with the Cro-Mags. He had subbed for Cro-Mags, and then a bass player called Nefarious, and he was in a band called Macabre from Chicago. And so they came together. They gave me a lot of help. I was able to kind of put together this first album called Jason is Watching. So that was our first album. It got a great response. Jason is Watching, Jason Never Dies, Machete is My Friend, Sink or Swim, all songs about Jason. Yeah. So then as it picked up, that was released in 2009. So then things picked up. Now we're on our fifth album. I have dedicated a lot of my time to touring live. I believe, we have videos out there. Check them out. We've got great video for Voorhees is the name. Also for a song called Kill for Mother. Also 2 other songs, The Price of Peace and The Scapegoat is our more recent video that actually features Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills is in that video. So as things got more well-known, we were helped a lot by Incantation, which is a thrash band, pardon me, a thrash band who's amazing, Incantation. And then Ice Nine Kills and Twisted from the Juggalo scene. They all helped us a lot. So, now we're just touring as much as possible. Honestly, Dave, I feel that the live music thing is my strength. People really enjoy watching the performance. I play the heavy metal guitar. I do the Bach toccata kind of as a showstopper. Also, my band members are really amazing. Bass amp on drums, who's well-known in the punk world. He comes from St. Louis. He's also a radio personality. We've got The Beyond, who's touring with us now, and that is his name, The Beyond. And he's this amazing guitar player who's got all kinds of moves and all kinds of just his look is amazing. And also Eddie Machete works with us sometimes too. He's a great musician who studies with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. He's on all our recordings. Right on. So we've come a long way in a short time. But, in all honesty, it's events like Catastrophicon that I feel are the best. That's really our stomping grounds. That's really where we feel the most, at home, because not only is it, we love to play small venues and festivals, where it's just about the music, but it's also great when you get to talk to people during the day and interact and meet people and find out what they're doing. And then, hey, let's all have fun at the rock show together. It's really something very special. I think that it's always great to come to a rock show, but when you come to an event like Catastrophicon, it's like we kind of all get together for a weekend, really get to know each other. It's no matter who you are, what age you are, whether you're coming yourself or you're bringing your whole family, it's going to be a great experience.
It's for everybody. This is
very true.
Really exciting.
Anybody could have fun at a First Jason show because our music spans it. It's upbeat, it's loud, but it has punk, it has metal, it has funk, it has even a little reggae in there. It's just fun. I mean, even we do everything.
It's catastrophicon.com, July 15th. Tickets are on sale now. Ari, I look forward to meeting you again in person. It's going to be so exciting. Thanks so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, Dave. I really think, I like your energy. I see you got a great vision. And I feel that what you want to do is just, hey, provide a space and put all these people in their happy places, man. That's what we're going to do. Cool, man. Well, just remind everybody, Jason never dies. And I'm looking forward to see you all. Check out First Jason on YouTube, on Spotify, so you can sing along when we rock out for you.
Excellent. Okay, thanks, Ari, and thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. We're living in suburban town with a hot suburban groove. I'm your neighbor, I'm living next to you. What you gonna do?